Hello and welcome back to another brand new episode of Mighty Mac Week in Review. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Dave Molinaro. Sarah Pasternak couldn't make it today, so I'm flying solo. And it's a big one I have to do myself. Spring sports underway. Everyone's starting up practice. Men's and women's lacrosse also had some games. We're going to start off with men's lacrosse, who had two games, one of them hosting McDaniel this past week at Draper Wall Stadium. Let's take a look at the highlights. Early on in this game, we want to highlight freshman goalie Denton States, who got his first start of his collegiate career and put forth a strong effort as he made one of his 20 saves here to keep the game scoreless early. Then trailing by one in the first quarter was Tyler Black, who gets his first goal of the 2017 season for IU as he wraps around the net and ties the game, but the Macs would be trailing 3-1 at the end of the first quarter. On to the second, McDaniel took control of the game by scoring 9 of the next 10 goals until McKenna Toohey netted the first goal of his career on a pass from Tyler Black to bring the Macs a little closer. McDaniel would end up taking the game 18-4, but not before Doug Hughes gets on the board on a pass from Sam Zingaro. The Mighty Macs then dropped a tough one on the road to Wesley by a final score of 12-10, but Mike Reardon, on fire early this season already, has 4 goals and 2 assists. The Mighty Macs have 2 games next week, Wednesday and Saturday. Make sure you check out the website for times on them. On to women's lacrosse. They had a game last Thursday. Let's check out the highlights. Emily Schumann made the first start of her career and made one of her 11 saves on the day here to keep the game close early in the first. Elizabethtown then took control, but Brittany Whaley scored one of her 3 goals on the day here to cut the deficit, but it was not enough in a loss to the Blue Jays. Women's lacrosse has 2 games this week, Thursday at home and then Saturday on the road. Baseball and softball are beginning to prep for their trip down to Florida for their spring break games. We caught up with some softball players to talk about the trip. We're joined in studio today by 2 members of the Immaculata softball team, Paige Murphy and Anne-Marie Barteau. Guys, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
So there's a couple things we're going to touch on before the season starts. We're going to start with you, Anne-Marie. What are some of the expectations of this team? There's a lot of new players on it, some returning veterans. Can you just talk about the team and some things to expect this season?
Some of the expectations are to go to playoffs again and do really well, excel. For the upperclassmen, because there's a lot of freshmen, we have to be good leaders, so there's a lot of expectations for that. To keep going, good team, so just keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And then coming up is the spring break Florida trip. Very jealous. You guys always have fun. Can you talk about some of the things you guys do down there and how it translates to when you come back and the season starts?
Yeah, so Florida is more about team bonding and getting all the kinks out before the season starts back here. And in Florida, we have a lot of little events that we do together. Like we go to downtown Disney together. We have this minute to win it night where we play these little games, and it's it's intense. It's a lot of fun. We have a story night, a pizza night, and it's a lot of fun to get team bonding and to start seeing how we play together in a game situation.
Mm-hmm. And then the last thing I want to touch on. We didn't talk about this before the interview. I'm just throwing it on you. But you were Rookie of the Year. You're reigning Player of the Year. What's next? What's your personal goal for this season?
I have a lot, but it always falls back on the team. They're great, and they always make me better and all the other people better too.
Yeah, we push each other a lot.
Just to keep pushing each other.
And there's always going to be kinks, but we get through it by helping each other and pushing each other to make each other the best.
There you go. Their schedule is out on GoMightyMacs.com, so make sure you check that out. You can watch some of the games down in Florida, and then make sure you come out once their home season starts. Guys, thank you very much. Good luck down in Florida.
Thanks, Steve.
Spring sports is in full swing starting this week, as we said. Just as a wrap-up, there's games on Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, so make sure you check out the website for times and locations for all of that. Men's tennis is getting underway, and then, as we said, baseball and softball making their trip down to Florida. Good luck to them. You can catch those games online as well. We're off next week, obviously, for spring break. We hope everyone has a nice, happy, fun, safe spring break, and then we're going to come back for that final stretch of school and spring sports, so stick with us. Thank you very much for tuning in this week. My name's Dave Molinaro. Go Macs.